Oh, Chi-Town Arturo. Good morning, guys. And welcome in the stream. Happy Thursday to you. As we have about close to a million college basketball games going on. A couple of them going on this morning within about the next hour and a half. So we're going to want to make sure that we're kind of locked in and taking a look at the board and looking at all the main markets for college hoops today. It's just a big slate of games, and that's the best thing is on a day today like where the NBA only has 4 games going on, we have a lot of college basketball to kind of take its place. We also have a Thursday night football game, the Texans and the Bills. So we'll kind of take a look at maybe some of the plays over there and also maybe peep what's going on in the NHL and then also for this weekend for college football and the NFL. So lots to get into. So much to jump into. Let me go ahead and start us off with what I'm seeing so far in the Sharp Money tool. There's not much. We're probably going to hop over to the optimizer to take a look to see, how we can utilize that tool the best, because at the moment with the Sharp Money tool, there just isn't a ton of plays for the NHL and the NBA, at least in terms of liquidity. There's not high amounts of liquidity. But for those of you just tuning in, welcome in. Irish, good morning to you. Rough week, Kerr. Let's see. So, I would say my Sunday wasn't great. I had a winning day yesterday. I know that for Dub Club, 2 days, what was it? Yesterday we had a small losing day. I think about a half of a unit we lost. Day before that we won 2 units, and then the day before that we lost. So, yeah, it's kind of been a teeter-totter type of week. Looking to obviously kind of pile up a couple of green days in a row, no doubt about that. And hopefully you guys tailed I post basically every day. I post a 3-pick slip on Onyx, and we've cashed the last 2 straight days for parlays. So yesterday was a 3-pick parlay, which was awesome. And we cashed on that. So going to be posting another one here later today as well. So we're looking to make it 3 straight days in a row we cash on an Onyx parlay. What's going on, Christopher? Chi-Town, how you missed your Onyx parlay? Good. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, appreciate it. So let's see what we got. All right, so all of these plays, in my opinion, in terms of liquidity, this is too low in terms of using the Sharp Money tool. Now, the pricing is pretty good to Pinnacle. We're getting this at minus 119 on a 5-6-man slip. Getting this at a 3-man slip at minus 122, not too shabby. I like using Pinnacle a lot of times as a sharp for NHL player shots on goal. So that's something that I like to utilize. So I like the Marchand play the most. So let me go over here to PrizePicks. And let's type this in so we can at least add him in. And then we're just going to go over the optimizer tool because, like I mentioned, at the moment, there just isn't a lot of... It's early in the morning, guys. This is the only time really in the stream we're going to be focusing on player props, just because I'd like to put together a couple of DFS slips for you guys that are out there that are really focused on DFS. But typically, if I wasn't live streaming, I really wouldn't be putting together any PrizePicks or underdog slips. It's just too early in the morning to go after this. Let me see on the Marchand play. Was it over or under? We went the under. Okay. And this Anthony Black play that was very good. We want to grab this Anthony Black play. Over 17.5 PRA. And then let's go with, I'll take Ryan Rollins as well. Under on his PRA. Sorry, under on points and rebounds. Excuse me. We're taking the less. All right, no insurance on this play, guys. Three-man slip, no insurance. And I'll share this with you guys right now. This is a very good one. Yeah, no doubt about that, Chi-Town. Really thought that the Nuggets, that was one of our plays on Dub Club. Nuggets minus 12.5, and the Nuggets couldn't get that one done. And then the Bulls blow the Bulls play wasn't a play on Dub Club, but just the fact that I bet them minus 2.5 because I just saw that Shaden Sharp was out. A lot of injuries for the Trailblazers. And the Bulls have what, like an 18? They get outscored like 18, 19 points in the fourth quarter. Just insane. And even though they won the game, yeah, it was insane. All right, so I really, really like this Anthony Black play, and the Ryan Rollins play is pretty solid. Getting this under 26.5. A lot of books have this at 25.5. That can be the difference, guys, between a winning and losing pick. So love that. If you wanted to go with Coward and Sabonis, not bad. Pinnacle really likes it. And then Santee, yeah, this one I wouldn't go with. And some of these combos, you're kind of getting some different opinions, but Pinnacle's obviously quite bullish on a few of these. Okay. All right, interesting. We're going to move on, though. Let me take a look at Underdog 3-pick slips. Kind of go down the line, try to share one with everybody in terms of Underdog, Better, DraftKings Pick 6, Dabble. If you want to see any other book like a parlay play, an owner's box, anything like that, let me know. Typically, we don't cover those. They're just not as popular. No offense, to Epic as well, but there's just not as much maybe interest or demand in it, so that's why we don't showcase it. Not against it, just normally we don't. Yeah, not really enough here on Underdog that I would say let's do this. Like Moses Wright, sure, I could do that. If we let's throw this on as three picks. Minimum 3 data points. I want to see at least 3 other sports books outside of Underdog's projection to see what's up. Yeah, once I get down to this point here, guys, because Daniel Jones is like, well, it looks pretty decent. Then, like, Pinnacle's a minus 121, so I don't like that for his under. Once we get to this point, and I'm starting to scroll down, a lot of times, the biggest reason why I don't play a lot of the red slips, it's not because OddsJam, thinks that it's a bad play. It's typically because more times than not, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel where you have to go with one opinion of a sports book compared to the other. This is only 8 cents off to FanDuel. I'd really prefer not to have to put this out there. Now, you're going to find if you watch different streams on OddsJam, everybody does this a little bit differently. So that's where you can take the different opinions from all of us, whether it's Tumbo Toon or Cross or Alex or myself, and then you can kind of figure out, what you want to go after, what strategy you want to use. Like Cedric Coward, like this looks decent to Pinnacle because it's the over 26.5. Pinnacle's at 28.5, but FanDuel's only at minus 118 odds. I mean, DraftKings at minus 111. So this is kind of the problem here once I go down here. So I'm not going to really force the slip, guys. I'm just going to move on to Better. We'll come back and maybe look at Underdog a little bit later. Just disappointing right now at the moment. I'm not going to force a slip for the sake of forcing a slip. I'm streaming tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern. There'll be more slips, more plays available at that point. The Santee play seems to be decent, not bad. Harden can say the same. I like being on an over on James Harden. Definitely I'd rather be on an over than an under. And then we have a Josh Allen discount tonight for his passing and rushing yards on Better, so I'll take that. So anytime that we take the discount, it's a max $10 wager. So we're grabbing the over 13.5. Cool. And then Santee, we're grabbing his over 25.5 PRA. All right. I'll share this for any of my Better users. This is a perfect play. 3-pick slip. No insurance. Taking advantage of the Josh Allen discount. Anthony Black bumped. Then what I would say, appreciate you letting me know, James. Should I tell one of my thoughts on the Better Sportsbook? I've never used, to be honest with you, I've never used Better outside of the DFS portion. But no different in what Better uses or Better does than any, they're no different than DraftKings or FanDuel. It just depends on if they, if the contest or event that they're, if you can't play straight wagers, obviously you're going to deal with more variance anytime you have to introduce a parlay. So James, just so you know, man, if you want to go with this combo, Pinnacle is very bullish on the Cedric Coward, whether it's with DeRozan or with Sabonis. Very bullish they are on this. They have this at minus 170-ish range. So if you want to take the over on the combos, you could do that. It's early. Pinnacle doesn't have anything here. If you want to take Gino on his passing attempts, that's fine. Again, any of these combo plays, though, for DeRozan, Santi Aldama, or Cedric and Zach LaVine, or Sabonis and Santi, these are all, Pinnacle thinks that this should be in the minus 160-ish, minus 170-ish range. So feel free to use one of those as your replacement since the Anthony Black play bumped. So, yeah, Chi-Town, I would say I haven't really messed around with it. Like, that's the only kind of unfortunate part is I don't think I even have access to it. Like, for Underdog, I know, like, Underdog has that section where you can, like, kind of pick team totals. Acts like a little bit more of a traditional sports book, but I don't have anything. But it's going to be I don't have any experience with it, but it's all relatively the same, right? Like here, Texas Southern Vanderbilt, this is a very good play for my flip folks under 169.5. Pinnacle's at minus 143. If you had a bookmaker account, I would definitely take a look at this to see what bookmaker thinks. But if you can just find discrepancies in lines between the sports books or the lines that they post or the pricing, if they force you to, create a two-leg parlay or more, then just obviously you want to make sure doing the math with parlays that, you're getting a good value. I'm just logged in the good old bookmaker here, just taking a little peek. What's their line at right now for this total points? Their line is 167. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this looks good. Even at 169.5, they don't have it. The highest they offer is 168 at minus 114 odds. So, yeah, you're getting 1.5 off the bookmaker at the same payout, and it's well off the Pinnacle. So this is a smash on flip, guys. I'd say 2 units. Really like to see that. So that's great. There is at least one play on flip we can get really excited about. If we put in minus 200 odds, Matt Prater on his field goals, it looks good to DraftKings and MGM, but the problem is there isn't really a sharp book that's offering their opinion on this Prater play. So it's hard to really say what's what. But definitely grab the Texas Southern play. That's great. Let's take a look at Dabble, and we'll look at some 3-man entries. Again, guys, you could play your 5-mans. There's nothing wrong with playing 5-mans as long as you can introduce and deal with the variance. And there's also something that for any of you guys that are playing DFS, this is something that I love to kind of show. It's old, but it's still very much applies. So when I come over to Alex's profile, I've mentioned this before. Let me go, let's see. So Alex plays a lot of 5-man slips. I'm sure he plays some 3-man slips. But Alex, compared to everyone else, he doesn't mind taking on a little bit of risk and going for it. And so this is an old post, but I like to showcase it from time to time. Okay. This is a post from Alex in terms of his activity from last year on Better. Okay. Now, peep his win-loss record right here. His win-loss record right here of 99 wins and 441 losses. Okay. And so in terms of winning your slips and losing your slips, you lose way more slips than you win, but he brought back over 117% return off of his investment. Okay. I was on a call yesterday. for coaching. And we were talking about kind of DFS. And we were talking about, just how the variance goes. Take a look at my parlay play for this year. Now, granted, I don't have nearly as many slips built as Alex did. But look at my win-loss record. It's almost identical. And I brought back over a 37% return off my investment. So if you guys, and this is me playing like 3-man and 4-man entries on parlay play. So if you guys are jumping into DFS and you're playing a lot of slips, you have to understand that the variance is insane because they're all parlays, right? You're playing at best 2-man parlays, or you're playing 5- and 6-man parlays. So you are going to see crazy variance, a lot of losses. And then the slips that you do hit, they're going to pay you out a lot. And that's really the difference. Yeah, the home run prop shot, Chi-Town. Yeah, and he had that huge day with Ohtani and Judge. Either way, I mean, you could forget what Alex shows. Look at me here, right? I'm losing a lot compared to what I'm winning, but brought back a very high return off my investment. So and anyone that is profitable with DFS, this is what it looks like. It looks like they've lost a ton of slips. They won some, but the ones that they did win, they got paid out. And so always like to kind of just a little reminder for you guys, if you're stuck in a losing streak on DFS or you think your process is busted, it happens like this all the time with DFS. All of these plays, Dabble, PrizePicks, Underdog, Better. That's the nature of this. That's betting on parlays. And I think a lot of people sometimes forget, that's why your buddy that bets on 7 parlays and loses 5 in a row, he thinks his process is broken, like he's doing something wrong. It's no, he just doesn't understand the math behind betting parlays. So let's jump over to the Sharp Money tool again, but we'll refresh just to see if there's anything new. I forgot to look at Pick 6. I do apologize. Let's look at Pick 6 real quick. Did it, Aaron? Normally they always offer some type of promo. So they changed it to James Cook, and they also have Jalen Johnson. So you could rock the same slip. The Josh Allen play wasn't a sharp play. It was just their boosted play. So they just gave us a big discount. So just take one of their discounts on whether it's Jalen Johnson or James Cook, and you'll be fine. I'm probably guessing I can rock another better slip here in a little bit and do this again. Zach Edey on Pick 6. Yeah, I like this play. Jalen Wells, I like that play. NCAA, it's okay. Would probably prefer to go with a Okonkwo. Now, here's the problem, guys, with betting all player props for DFS. Here's the other big thing. This is the number one reason why I don't bet player props in the morning. But, the biggest reason I do this right now is just for you guys. If this is the only time that you have to bet player props, this is when we do it. There's a lot of NBA injury news that's going to be coming out over the next 5 to 7 hours. That's very important. So a bit of a roll of the dice when we are playing these, putting together these slips this early in the morning. All right, so Bills Texans tonight. I don't know. I think the Texans have a really good defense. I think it's going to be an unders game tonight. My unofficial pick is I like the under. The Bills suck on the road. Oh, they got a Josh Allen free square. Unfortunately, we're looking at NBA plays, so we got to save that one for later. But there is a Josh Allen free square, which is nice to see. But Texans have a great defense, and I just kind of like the under in this game. Zach Edey over 11.5 points. Did they already bump this? Yeah, already bumped. Unbelievable. Franz, over? Yeah, Franz is fine. And then Aldama. Again, we're already on Santi for one slip, but we're going to add them to one more. Looks like things changed a little bit. Yeah, these all changed. Yeah, I'm fine with that play. Wendell Carter, That's fine. I'd rather go maybe with Jalen Wells. I don't know if I can. Yeah, Santi just bumped. Dude. All right, Jalen will take us under. So we got Franz over, Jalen under. The Santi play bumped. And I would go with Okonkwo. I kind of like this down here at the bottom. His under on his points and rebounds. Here it is. Now, I know he went nuts a couple days ago. All right, so we're going to share this one, guys. And we'll look for later today to put together that Josh Allen free square. There's a DraftKings pick 6 slip. Grab it now before it bumps. If you wanted to grab Nickeil Alexander-Walker, it's fine. It looks good to Pinnacle. It's okay to FanDuel. It's not great to FanDuel, but it's eh. Wendell Carter, not bad on Wendell, right? But I'm taking Franz's over, so, take Wendell's under. All right, let's jump into the Sharp Money tool. Let's look at some regular traditional sports books. Just select them all for today. Just looking currently, guys, at NBA and NHL player props. We'll throw on the NFL as well. And let's see what else we have. Okay, so I don't have any current odds set at the moment, which is fine because we're going to look at some long shot underdog plays. Ray Davis, running back for Buffalo. Anytime touchdown score. This obviously Pinnacle hasn't made me set their odds yet for this particular player. Somebody has almost $6,000 and they want this at plus 1,900 odds, which is crazy. Pretty crazy. They're offering the under for you to bet on no vig, and they want the over. Somebody wants this at plus 2,281 odds, which would be probably a bit more EV. But you can grab this at FanDuel. It's a better play at MGM, but FanDuel and Bovada for anytime touchdown score, Ray Davis. I would say, guys, I'm totally fine with just a little sprinkle here. Or I'm also fine if I fire up FanDuel right now. If they're running their $1 million bonus bet giveaway or $2 million bonus bet giveaway, then this would be this would definitely be the play that I would go after on FanDuel. Let me take a look at the promos here. Yeah, they got the jackpot. Okay. So make sure over here, guys, on your jackpot, make sure that you claim this now. We got to look for an anytime touchdown score. And I can bet $5. And this is going to be on a first or last touchdown score. So I'm going Ray Davis. Partially because it's the Sharp Money tool. Partially because I like betting on a long shot underdog like that. I really enjoy it. And so I don't mind that. Anytime TD, where's Ray at? He's all the way at the bottom here probably. Bingo. Now, with this touchdown jackpot, guys, it's a $5 minimum bet. The more that you bet, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to receive a bigger payout for the bonus bets. So Ray Davis, there it is. Touchdown jackpot, 1,900. Looks to be pretty good. We'll try the Sharp Money tool out. If you want to save your touchdown jackpot until later, no problem. But obviously it's a better play on BetMGM, but you can grab this over at FanDuel as well. Yeah, Irish. It doesn't matter if it's first or last. It has to be on an anytime touchdown score, but we want him to be the first or last, so you kind of get a little bit of a, two chances with that one. But if he doesn't become the first or last touchdown score and he just gets in general, plus 1,900 odds, that's an incredible payout. So, so that's one thing I like to stress is if you put more money on this play, guys, it doesn't mean that your bonus bet payout will be higher. It's all relative. It's all the same. But there we go. And then a triple-double for De'Aaron Fox. Again, these are long shot plays. We're going to get into the lower shot plays here in a second. But somebody on ProfitX wants this at plus 6,000. So if you wanted to sprinkle this on FanDuel, you could do so. It's there. What's going on, Dr. Slips? Javier, what are my 2 sharp books on player props? It really depends, Javier, on the sport. I typically am always using some fashion or form of Pinnacle, but it changes based on sports. I have different books that I use for different sharps. For different sports, different books, there's different combinations. There isn't a one size fits all type of strategy. But it's usually a constant of Pinnacle and then some other book. That would be the answer, or at least my response to your question. So Anthony Black under 12.5 points. Somebody really wants this at minus 124 odds. Now you could see that we can get this at over on a Canby sportsbook like Bet Rivers at minus 112. FanDuel sees this at minus 132. This is 20 cents off. So in general, this just seems to be a really solid play to bet the under. And then somebody really wants this under at minus 124, and we can get this on a Canby sportsbook. Now, here's the problem with looking at player props and why I need to get back to looking at main markets, because I apologize, guys. I got a little sidetracked here on player props. We normally never, ever bet player props this early in the morning, but this would be something on Anthony Black that you want to take a look at. Let's look at some mainline markets, because that's what really the morning stream's supposed to be, because that's where you can beat your the mainline markets. Ooh, Bracco. What's up, Bracco? I got a couple different options for Bracco, but a book that I recently signed up with. Cross has been using it for a while. I know that on his live streams. Or he was using it for a while. Over 234.5. Somebody wants this. Yeah, at the same odds. Most of the books have this at 235.5. Pinnacle's at minus 101. We can get this at plus 112 odds. This is just an EV play. This is just very EV. So let me go over to Bracco. A book like Bracco, guys, it's not like your normal DraftKings or FanDuel in terms of just, in my opinion, like the popularity of this book. So I'm going to get limited on this book. That's fine. So we're going to load up a little bit more and bet a bit of a higher amount. I don't have an affiliate link or a code or anything to share with you guys when it comes to Bracco. There we go. I was looking to get that. That's what I was looking for. But I would advise checking them out. More sports books, the more money that you can make. So the nice thing I do like about this account or this sports book is you just come down here. We're looking at the Grizzlies, unless they pulled it. Dude, did they already pull it? The Grizzlies game. Yeah, I was going to say that the one thing I normally like is when you pull this up, automatically tells you the max wager size. No matter what market that you grab, it tells you how much that you can wager on a play, which is really, really nice. Very disappointed, though, that I'll look for the search bar here. Yeah, they must have pulled it, because I can't find it for the life of me. All right, well, then this is all stale. Maybe don't shout out Bracco Billy, because they're not actually showing correct plays. Ducks on the puck line, plus 1.5. This is a bit juicy. Not a ton. There's a lot of liquidity chopped up here. But I would say, yeah, this is 21 cents off to Pinnacle. It's 35 cents off to Bookmaker. This is just a good play in general over at MGM, guys. Even if you are limited on MGM, this is a mainline play. It's a heavy favorite, so you might be able to wager still $50 on this play. Check it out. Try it. You never know. I don't necessarily like this play because of the money on the sharp money tool that I'm seeing. I just like it because of the price and compared to the rest of the books. To my knowledge, it's a sweepstakes sports book. So in the one way, guys, that you can always tell if it's an offshore book or not, see here at the top in the URL, it's .com. Typically, if it's an offshore book, it'll be a .eu or it'll be, what's the other one I'm thinking of right now? .ag. .ag would be the other one. So because it's a .com, it looks to be a sweepstakes book here in the U.S. So I don't know all the available states for Bracco. Let me pull up a Google search. Basically, I saw that their logo was added on OddsJam. This was a while back, guys. I'd say they've been on for probably at least a month and a half, 2 months. But anytime I see a new logo pop up on the OddsJam software, I just pull it up. Apparently, according to Google, I don't see it as restricted, at least in Arizona yet, because I'm able to play for actual real money and make deposits. The casino, but we're not worried about casino. Let's take a look at Bracco. Open to U.S. bettors except those residing in Louisiana, Michigan, Mississippi, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Montana. So there it is. If you live in Idaho, Louisiana, Michigan, Mississippi, Montana, Nevada, or Pennsylvania, you cannot play Bracco for sports bets, sports books. But there we go. So yeah, sign up with them, guys. They don't. Their deposit's okay. It's not like it's a massive bonus. It's just a new book, different book that you can utilize. Let's go over to the EV tool. First, let's go to the arbitrage tool because I don't want to skip out on my arbitrage bettors. Speaking of Bracco, is this out there right now, Bracco? Bro. Tennessee State. We're looking at the over 151.5. No, I don't see this on Bracco because their totals start at 155 to 159. So, yeah, guys, I'm looking at this basketball game right now. Not seeing it. Yeah, it's not there. All right, so I would say for the moment, guys, don't use OddsJam for Bracco. Normally, it's legit. This is the one time, of course, as soon as I start showing plays, they're not there. So let's just kind of click off of them because I don't want to showcase that if they're stale. Thrills, anyone that still has a healthy Thrills account, I'm sure there's not many out there, but if you do, again, we have a gazillion basketball games. We have one that starts in about 90 minutes that's coming up. Christian Kirk and the Bills-Texans games tonight. There's only $100 available, $100 on ProfitX, but you could bet the over on Caesars, the under on ProfitX, and make about $8 to $11 risk-free profit, 4.5% edge, or 4.5% return on your investment, which is really good. Curio, yeah, man, we looked at Underdog at the beginning of the stream and didn't see anything, and I've already spent about 25 minutes going over DFS, so I'll look to circle back at the very end of the stream, but looking to get some mainline market plays. We're just talking about arbitrage right now, but there wasn't really anything that I liked. And again, guys, I cannot stress this enough. I normally really prefer not to play DFS this early in the morning for player props. I like to, just for the sake of the stream, I'll keep it going, but I love to wait and start to find out a little bit about injury news. Because, you can gain some massive CLV, but you can also have CLV work against you in a big way. In terms of the play that you're getting, you can sometimes it works for or against you. But normally for player props, I shy away from it this early in the morning. Philosopher, it's a good point. To be fair, if you make money sports betting on any strategy for live or for pregame, you're going to get limited. Like if you want to make money sports betting, period, end of sentence, you're going to get limited. So placing bets for pregame bets, yes, you can. You can get limited. I try to stream twice a day just to find plays. I like to bet on main markets earlier in the day or in the week. If you are limited on a sports book, guys, again, it does not matter then. Just place every bet for as much money as you can responsibly and get that bet down. But there is no way to avoid limits if you ever want to be profitable sports betting. It's a very difficult path. Even professional sports bettors that are betting into markets that the over and the under is at minus 110, they will get limited. So it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. So live betting will definitely help your account in terms of not getting limited as quickly if you live bet compared to pregame. But pregame has some advantages compared to live. These plays stay out here a little bit longer than live. Live moves incredibly fast. And this is just also a way that you can start to beat the books is looking at these plays. Pregame is definitely attainable. So great question or great point. Great question, I should say. But, if you don't want to get limited sports betting, guys, the only two ways that I know of not getting limited is either lose all your bets or don't gamble. Otherwise, if you want to make money doing this, you have to accept the fact that limits are going to happen. So naturally, placing bets on a basketball game on an under at 8 that doesn't start until 8 p.m., that's not ideal, right? That is a quicker way to get limited, which is placing an under on a college basketball total or team total, right? How many casual sports bettors are betting unders this early in the morning? Not many at all, right? So that's something we like to think about. But I also can understand for those of you that have kids that have a full-time job, if this is the only time of the day that you can arbitrage bet, the real key with arbitrage betting is finding consistency. So if this is the only time that you can bet, then by all means, grab these arbs because you're going to make money on these plays. No doubt about that. A lot of UNLV here at the moment. But if you can help and wait, then don't. And then also we talk a lot about like this AJ Green play. Like there is a priority for me to hit this play up for AJ Green compared to UNLV. Why? Because no vig will never limit you. No vig does not care about when you place your bets or for how much that you place your bets. So the nice thing with the exchanges is that through this transaction, you're really only hurting yourself on Bet Rivers in terms of your account health. But the nice thing, at least with this Bet Rivers play, is that you're betting an over. Now, it's a little early in the morning to bet this, but still, you're betting an over. So using the exchanges, guys, can help your account longevity even further because ProfitX and NoVig they don't care what you bet, how much you bet, when you bet it. It doesn't matter. They don't care if you add loose change on the end of your bets. So that's another reason why we love to use the exchanges. Now, with Ryan Rollins' play, it's great that it's on ProfitX, but how many people are betting an under on a player prop for a game that doesn't start until 8 p.m. Eastern? Probably not too many. So I'd rather take the AJ Green play because I'm betting an over on the rec book compared to betting an under on the rec book. Yeah, Kira, I mean, it's one thing that I would say to you is we are in the absolute best time of the sports betting season. And hopefully you're able to, get your capital up by before, I'd say, February. Once we hit like April, things really start to die. So you have some time from now until I'd say March, February. But, college football season is going to be ending here and the regular season ends in probably like 2 weeks. And we still have another 7-8 weeks of the NFL regular season. But obviously our opportunities on Saturdays and Sundays start to disappear when college football and the NFL go away. So, this is literally, we are in the best time of the year. This is like peak sports betting is the month of November because college football and the NFL is still alive and well. And we have basketball in full swing and hockey. So November is a prime month, guys, for betting. The best. Watch one of my streams in June or July. It's basically like I'm in the middle of the desert just dying for a sip of water. It can be very difficult. All right, let's go over to the main market. I talked about this before, guys. There's a shitload of college basketball games today. Looking at minus 130 plus minus 150 plus 130. I am using Bookmaker as my sharp. I'll jump over to Pinnacle. Again, if you guys are learning anything from all this information, please just subscribe to the channel. If you're finding value in this, this is what I aim to do. Dropped a video yesterday talking about if you are severely limited, there is a strategy that I like to implement, that I like to use. I have been using for over a month now that I find successful. Check that video out. It tries to provide a roadmap for you. Also, one of my favorite Discords we talked about, I know Irish knows about this, Edge Zone. Edge Zone's whole reason that they created this Discord was to help a sports bettor out that is limited. What's the path after you get limited at BetMGM and Hard Rock and Fanatics? What's the next step? That's where the Edge Zone Discord comes in, where you can bet into sharp books. They provide more of a bottom-up approach. Looking at mainline markets, but wanted to definitely give a shout out to Edge Zone because they're awesome there. I appreciate that, Curio, and coming in, and Luis, obviously, yeah. If you bet every single day, guys, one day of the year is going to be your best day. One day is going to be your worst. There's no way of getting around that. So losing days do happen if you're not arbitrage betting. Let me just make sure I rephrase that. If you are arbitrage betting, guys, you shouldn't, and only arbitrage betting, you should not be having losing days. The occasional getting one-sided happens. That happens to us. But if you're pumping out a lot of arbs pregame, for sure, you shouldn't be consistently losing. I'm just doing a quick spot check here, guys, to make sure that, are these plays alive or are they dead? Yeah, these are dead. So I'm looking at UNLV minus 10. It's minus 103 on Bracco. It's plus 107. So OddsJam's stale right now to the odds. So let's just remove Bracco, which kind of sucks. Okay, Profit X, Arkansas Pine Bluff, Marshall. Again, never have to worry about getting limited on Profit X. They don't care what you bet. This looks decent. Minus 112, under 164.5. There's only $33 here, guys, so I would definitely bet this. When you are using the desktop, guys, over here at OddsJam, you get access to this line feature, line movement. Again, if you want to try OddsJam 1 week for free, save 35% off your first month after the 1 week trial ends, use code Billy35. Let me throw that up in there because I want to make sure for anyone that's new, that's popping in, I don't receive any financial kickback for this, guys. I just receive, job security. People are seeing that you're using the link, so make sure you check it out. There's a 1 week free trial. Try it 1 week for free. If you don't like it, doesn't cost you a dime. Just cancel before the trial ends, and you won't be charged. Okay, a lot of Hard Rock plays here, which Hard Rock's an easier book to beat. But honestly, looking at this Chicago State, Iowa play, yeah, these are lower edge plays with Bookmaker. Let's look at Pinnacle. Might find a little bit more opportunities with Pinnacle. Yeah, a lot more. Okay. Let's look at the St. Joe's play. Plus 11 Caesars. When I'm looking at a play like this, guys, I like to know what Bookmaker has. What's their line at? Bookmaker's at St. Joe's plus 10. Circa's got the same thing. I love that. We're getting this at Caesars. We're getting an extra point for the same price. So, great example of why line shopping is so important and why you want to have multiple sports books. Because Bookmaker is saying, sharp books are saying this is at plus 10. Okay. If you had a FanDuel account, right, St. Joe's plus 10.5. All right. Not bad. Not bad at minus 110. But we can get an extra half point at the same price for Caesars. Same price. And if you only had a DraftKings account and you bet St. Joe's plus 10.5, you're paying a little bit extra. We're getting a discounted price compared to DraftKings, and we're getting an extra half point. It's a big deal. It's a big, big deal between a winner and a loser. And God forbid this can happen. If St. Joe's loses by 11 points tonight, well, guess what? These bets lose on FanDuel and DraftKings. It pushes on Caesars. You get your money back on Caesars. And I understand that ties aren't like the sexiest thing in sports betting, but that's a lot better than a loss. So this is why line shopping is so important, guys. This is why the tools at OddsJam are a really big deal. So same here with Rice, right? If I wanted to throw a little two-leg parlay, which I'm more than happy to do, I'll take Rice, I'll take St. Joe's, right? And we'll throw these two up there. Let me see. So I'm just going to log into Caesars, and I'm just going to throw this on the phone right now at the moment. But a little two-leg parlay. Now, these are later games, but we're just going to grab a little grab a little basketball, college hoops. I can't stand the search feature on Caesars has, I don't know, it's gotten worse. It used to be really, really solid. And now it doesn't even pull up the games anymore, I feel like. So now I got to scroll over here and look for college hoops and just go game by game. That's the really annoying part. So luckily, though, they do have it by conference. So I can look at the A10. There we go. So just go by conference, guys. St. Joe's is in the A10. UNLV is in the Mountain West, if memory serves me correct. And then Rice should be in the American Conference. Yeah, there we go. Rice minus 2.5. So a little two-leg parlay here, guys. If you're trying to figure out, if you're like me and you're like, all right, I want to bet this two-leg parlay, but I don't know how much I should wager on, grab the fair value right here, right? All odds are associated with a win probability. This is the fair value right here that Pinnacle thinks this play should be at. Minus 122 spot 13 equals a 55% chance. They're in a marriage together. It's the same thing, 0.543. I have a 29.87% chance of hitting this bet. I need both legs to hit on my parlay. So we come over to the Kelly criterion method. Again, this is how you actually break down profitable sports betting with math. I'm not making this shit up. This is just how you do it. And so if I'm getting both of these plays on a parlay, and I'm receiving odds of, yeah, the Rice play just bumped. Oh, I'm too slow. Just bet it, Billy, and then do the math later. Damn it. Rice just went from minus 2.5 to minus 3.5, so that's not there anymore. That sucks. And that could be the difference between a win and a loss today. That sucks. Damn. But we could do Troy, right? We could do Troy as well. Okay. Same exercise. So instead of doing this, I'll say, all right, I'm going to grab Troy plus 19.5. The fair win value is 0.534. Let's multiply this by 0.55. We're looking at 29 spot 37. For this parlay, I'm getting odds of plus 264. So I come over here. 264 odds. I use quarter Kelly. My fair win total. That means I have a 29.37% chance of winning this two-leg parlay, guys. So remember, when you're playing DFS and we're talking about rocking a 3 or a 5-man slip, like your fair win percentage is even lower than this. Most people don't realize that. So it's telling me I have a 7% edge. I should bet $163 on this play. So let's go and hit this up again. So I'll double check and make sure I'm getting the right plays. We're looking at St. Joe's plus 11, and then we're looking at the Big Ten, which is crazy to say. And we're looking at USC, Troy. There we go. And let's grab this. And I'm going to throw this in for a 150 spot, guys. There we go. Little two-leg parlay. I'm in on Caesars, courtesy of the fact that they're easy to beat when it comes to betting spreads. So there we go. Little two-leg parlay. Obviously, if you wanted to go a more conservative route, you could bet both of these straights. That's fine. I'm going to just put this together as a parlay. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, it used to be really good, and then it just kind of sucks. If you see this, guys, this is an offshore sports book called Every Game. I have an account with them. They provide value from time to time. This is one of those things, guys. If you sign up with a book like Every Game or Low Vig, which is a sharp book, I would tread softly on their bonuses. I wouldn't go crazy on signing up for their bonus and then having a lot of your money tied up and then having to roll over that money like, 8, 10x. I would just probably ignore their sign-up bonus, deposit some money. There's a really big positive EV edge knowing that you have peace of mind that you can withdraw your money at any point. That's kind of the one thing with a lot of these offshore books, guys. Looks like this edge dropped a little bit on Troy, which kind of sucks, is that, with these offshore books, they offer these big sign-up bonuses, and then you take it, and then all of a sudden your money's tied up because you have to wager through a large amount of money before those funds are free and clear, and that can create some stress. So sometimes just don't grab it. Central Arkansas, Onyx. Can we grab this on Onyx right now? This looks really good to Pinnacle. Now, it's a lower edge. It's a lower edge play here, guys. It's a $500 limit, but still willing to take this. So am I going to wager $230 on this play? No, because Pinnacle's only taking a max wager size of $500. But it is a sharp play, and I definitely want to grab this. This game is at 6 o'clock again. Onyx, unfortunately, does not have any search feature. So Central Arkansas, North Texas. I just got to do the scroll game. There it is. I was luckily able to find it pretty quickly. Let's see if this is actually there. I pull it up. I'm going to go in for a 125 spot here to basically profit $100. It moved to minus 145. And then it goes back, and then when I try to place the bet, it moves to minus 145. So that's the one issue with Onyx. Sometimes their plays, you can bet this on DraftKings, guys. You can't bet this on Onyx. If you want to take it for a point less, you could bet it on BetMGM. Let's refresh the page. Let's see what we got. Bet openly, that's a pretty good play to go after. Any of these plays here, guys, with Northern Kentucky, I would rather the +5 than the +4.5. So grab this, but there's $100 or less on these. Totally fine with that. Okay. Ooh, Lindenwood in Indiana. Bally bet, under 160.5. Again, one of my favorite things to do. Open this play up. Where's the rest of the sharp books? Looks like it doesn't look as good of an edge as it used to be. Apologies there. The English was poor, but under 160.5. Bookmakers at 159.5. BetOnline's at 159. Circa's at 160. So to get this as a half point at minus 115, little extra juice here, but not bad for the half point. But Pinnacle's moving on this. They don't like this play as much, so it's changing. We could get the under 160 at the same price. Bet anything, bet DSI. All right, I'll take a sprinkle. It's 1% edge though. It's a little low, a little on the low side. Okay, it's kind of unfortunate. South Dakota, Missouri. This is better, almost a 2.5% edge. Any Canby sportsbook. And typically, guys, for Canby, you can have a great time betting over there when it comes to college basketball. Definitely a book that, with Bally Bet and Bet Rivers and Desert Diamond, at least I have 3 different options out here in Arizona. It's the same case in Pennsylvania, but you can have a great time on any of these books betting these types of plays. So, I just got severely limited on Bally Bet, but I would still go hit this up on Bet Rivers. Or if I don't, if I want to save like Desert Diamond and just kind of rattle off some 2-leg parlays and have some fun there, you can do that as well. But a lot of value on the Canby books when it comes to college basketball. A ton. Arizona State, Hawaii. This game's obviously not until 10 o'clock tonight. So BetMGM, BetDSI. BetDSI is an offshore sports book that I use quite a bit. Again, guys, more books, more opportunities. That's really what it comes down to. You sign up with as many books as you can, you're going to have a larger menu. Think about it when you sit down at a restaurant and they offer you 4 things to eat, compared to a restaurant that has like the Cheesecake Factory that has like 30 different pages that you can scroll through, right? More options, more opportunities for you to make money. So that's how I like to look at this when it comes to signing up with the sports books. Honestly, you guys need to do a search in your state or use OddsJam. Take a look, click on your state up here at the top, choose your state or country, find out what sports books are available to you. You're going to be surprised that maybe you haven't signed up with all of them. They all offer promo boosts and sign-up bonuses when you first sign up, and then on top of that, they're just going to offer you more betting opportunities for arbitrage and positive EV. If we were to take a look at the NHL and see if there's any mainline market plays, let's take a look. Over here on Circa, if you are using Circa, this looks very good to bet the Utah Mammoth on the money line. Now, Circa's a sharp book, but I see that Bookmaker and Pinnacle and BetOnline are all roughly the same price, then I don't mind going after this. This is a low hold to Pinnacle. So that's like a very big indicator to me, like, I probably want to go bet this over at Circa if I had a Circa account. And some of you guys, have that. For my Missouri residents, if anyone lives in Missouri that's watching this live stream right now, first and foremost, bonjour. You're going to have it available to you December 1st, which is coming up real quick. So Missouri is going to be legalized, and did see a little bit of news from my Wisconsin people. They're trying. I mean, the tribes really got Wisconsin by the nuts, but there is a little bit of movement and just like at least some chatter about how they're going to try to legalize sports betting in the state of Wisconsin. The Red Wings on the money line, no vig. Yeah, same prices from BetOnline, Bookmaker, and Pinnacle, and then Circa's not too far off as well. I don't mind taking the Red Wings on the money line, minus 119. There you go, Irish. There you go, man. Yeah, I would say, Will, it might be that Caesars is still putting you in that trial test phase, right? So, that's like, one thing that you want to think about is that if you've opened up an account with them, they might give you a week, maybe it's 2 weeks. They want to try to get a better idea, though, of your betting history. So if you're just smashing sharp line after sharp line after sharp line, probably a high chance that you're not going to be able to fall through the cracks and not get limited. But that's why we always talk about, guys, if you want to bet your own opinions, guys, bet $1 to $5 on parlays. I'm always in favor of that, on some of these recreational books, just to help kind of mask your sharpness a little bit. I'm always a big fan of that, right? If you take $5 and maybe bet a long shot lotto parlay, $1 for each book, right? Do that. Put together a 7 to 10 leg parlay on a DraftKings, on a Fanatics, on Fanatics maybe not so much, but on a Bet Rivers, on a BetMGM, on a Caesars, allocate $5 a day, bet your opinion, and make it, a 4-leg parlay or more that's like, plus 10,000 odds. I think that can definitely help with maybe your account health. I feel like that could be something. There we go, Kenny. Good to hear that. All right, guys, that's where we're going to kind of conclude the stream. We're going to be focusing a lot on player props. I do apologize. I probably focused a little bit too much on player props this morning. But for this evening stream, I'm going to be back on at 6 o'clock Eastern. And we are going to be focused definitely on hitting up those types of plays. A lot of player props, more DFS. It's going to be a fun time. Questions, email me, DM me. But otherwise, guys, have a strong start to your Thursday morning. And I'll check you guys out here later tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern. Take care.